All right, so let's start with a mantra, I guess. Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama ani stha shrutam me ma prahasihi anena dhitena horatran samdadhami Ritam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami, tanmamavatu, tadvaktaramavatu, avatu mam, avatu vaktaram, avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So we look into this hymn number 1 of the Rig Veda for the sake of kind of discovering the whole vision of the Veda in the nutshell. Why this is the first hymn? We want to answer the question why it is the first hymn of the Rig Veda. Is there a reason for it? If there is at all some reason, then must be here, because you should put the first hymn which is reflecting the whole vision, or has an entry, or declares something. Yes. So I told you my brief story that in the when I studied in the university, they gave me after 1 year this hymn to make a presentation, and I was very kind of unhappy with this because of it's a well-known hymn, translations are available. What's the point of really beating around the bush? Yeah, it should be something more sophisticated. But then I noticed interesting things. That first 5 verses, Gayatris, start with Agni, and next 4 are not starting with Agni, and that drew my attention. So from there I started to look into the meanings. So, and I noticed that the first 5 is a kind of ascension up, so to say, and the last 4 descension, descending down. So first line is interesting because it qualifies all the major characteristics of Agni. Yes? Agni mi le. I invoke Agni, or I seek Agni with adoration, as Sri Aurobindo translates. Seeking with adoration, Id. It's interesting, root Id, because it's all connected with roots such as Ish, yeah, to possess, or to Ichati Ish, to seek. Yeah, so Sri Aurobindo sees that root Id is not only to adore, but to seek with adoration. It's like to aspire with adoration. Yeah? It's like a flame which is aspiring with adoration, with love, flame of love, when the heart is in love. Yeah? So it's not just love, but also move towards and look forward or seek with this sense of love. And that changes quite a lot for me in the perception. I seek the divine flame with adoration. Yes, Purohitam, the one in front, literally put in front. Yeah? Yajñasya Devam, the Lord, or the flaming or the shining being of our transformation. Yajna for me is always transformation, change of our consciousness and being, also not only consciousness, but also the very stuff, the substance of our mind, vital and body. and Ritvijam, the one Ritu each, the one who sacrifices according to the Ritu, according to the time frames. Yeah. So he knows the order, who is first, who is next, all the nakshatras one by one. Hotaram, he is the Hotri, the one who invokes all the godheads. All the forces are coming through Agni to this sacrifice. Without Agni, they cannot come. It is the gateway for the godheads to come and to participate in this transformation. Ratnadhatamam, the one who bestows the greatest riches. And it's an interesting word from the point of view of classical Sanskrit, impossible, because Ratnadha, dha is establishing, yeah, verb. Ratna, the Ratnas, so composite Ratnadha, the one who establishes the riches, but tama suffix is for the adjectives. So the most establishing, so to say, the riches. Well, grammatically is quite clear. And then after these definitions, there are 5 definitions. That is, he is in front, he is the Lord of our transformation, the shining being, he sacrifices according to the seasons, he is the one who invokes all the devatas, brings them into action here. It is through him that they act. We will read another hymn later where it is said that all the godheads, all of them, all the gods are Agni when they are participating in this sacrifice. He is identified with everyone. Agni is Shiva, Rudra, Agni is Vishnu, Agni is Ashwins, everyone, Indra, Varuna, Mitra, Aryaman, Bhaga, all of them are Agni. Why? Because Agni is the action upon this manifestation in which or through which they participate. And he bestows the greatest riches because through that cooperation with other godheads, they bring with themselves the higher consciousness and riches. So these definitions, 5 definitions, are our 5 steps. So I started to identify them as 5 Agnis here. So first Agni is the Purvebhih Rishibhih Idyo. Notice Idyah. That's again root id, sought with adoration or beloved. He should be loved, he should be sought with adoration. Agni should be sought with adoration by the first Purva Rishis and by the Nutana, and also by the Rishis of today, nowadays Rishis, Nutana. So by Purva and by Nutana he should be adored or sought with adoration. And that is also another very powerful statement, that even by the previous rishis, by the first rishis, he is to be adored, still to be adored. It's a future participle, idyah. Yeah? Not how he could be adored, should be adored by the first rishis if they were before. For the Vedic rishi, it's not a case, because Purva Rishaya are still there. They are still assisting us in our movement forward and helping us to find the solutions in our life. So they are there. So it still has to be worshipped by them, by the first rishis and by the modern ones. Sa devaneha vakshati, may he bring here the gods. Now, devan eha, a iha, yes, it became together. Vakshati. Vakshati is subjunctive from vach, yeah, it's from the aorist base. So, Vakshati, may he bring here the gods. Now, I started with this question, where is here? And why should he bring here the gods? Here is on earth, yeah? Here where we are. where we are invoking, calling him. So we start our journey from earth. He should bring here the gods. He should be adored by the first and by the modern rishis, constantly beloved by them and sought with adoration, and should bring here the gods. And then we move, notice. So we started from earth. Agnina Rayimashnavat Posham Eva Dive Dive Yashasam Viravatamam. I'm putting a proper udatta. Notice Yashasam Viravatamam. I'm making the accent where it should be, according to the markings. Okay, Agnif Purvebih Rishibih Idia Nutana Rutasa Devan Eha Vakshati. Agni Naraim Ashnavat. By Agni, Raim, the wealth, Ashnavat should be, one should achieve, realize, gain, enjoy. Ashnavat is the conjunctive from Ashnute. Ashnavat. It is let in the Veda. Posham Eva, and the growth, indeed. Dive dive, every day or day by day. Yashasam, the yashas. It's an interesting word. We have to come back to it. The fame, the glory, Viravattamam, full of hero power, or full of heroes, fulfilled by heroic movements of consciousness. Now this heroism, virya, from here, seed also. Seed, I was discussing this in another place where we read Nakshatra Suktam. And there is all the time viryam. This viryam as a seed is full of heroic power of vira. Why virya seed is full of heroic power? Just think for a second what it means. From the seed of the tree, the whole tree is breaking through. From the small, small seed, there is like a nuclear power which is bringing to birth the whole being. Yeah, like from the conception, the whole being comes into existence. Just think about that power which brings being, that seed power, vira, which breaks through all the obstacles, uses all the material. If the plant can break through cement or break through asphalt, and the flower grows breaking asphalt. So you can imagine what power it has, this vira, virya. It is that power. So Viravattamam, may we have the glory full of this power which can break all the obstacles. Yeah? Break through all the obstacles. So by Agni only the wealth is to be achieved, and growth day by day, and the glory full of the power of realization. By Agni only, this is important, not by other means, by aspiration, by this flaming within you, by the divine will within you. This has to be achieved, and not by other means, not by the desires or wishes or preferences or likings and dislikings. We have to set the fire in place first, the divine will within us, the flame, the aspiration within the heart. It is by that that the growth is to be achieved. And all our wealth is to be achieved by that, not by other means, not by panis, not by stealing, not by killing others, not by competing on the market.
Atra poshameva is about being nourished, iti asti.
Posham, yeah, posha is nourishment, growth, like pushti. Posham and pushti are synonyms. Yeah. Okay, Agni, Yam Yajnamadvaram. Now, when we move to Agnina, notice Agnina is the Tritiya Vibhakti, yes, by Agni. So first Agni should bring here the gods, now by Agni. And the Agni is the essence of earth, yeah, as Chandogya would say, and all the Brahmanas. So the essence of earth is Agni, the essence of heaven is Surya, and in between there is Vayu, which is the essence of Antariksha. So we have three flames. We have Agni, Surya, and Vayu, which are building that energetic field of Agni. There are three Agnis, Agni, Vayu, and Surya. And there are three essences of Prithvi, Antariksha, and Dyauh, heaven. So here we move into Agnina, by Agni, into Agni realm. It is only by Agni, by the presence of Agni, that we should reach the wealth, realize the wealth and the growth and the glory full of power. And then, notice, we are moving to Antariksha. Agni yam yajnamadhvaram vishvatav paribhura si saideveshu gacchati. Agni, O Agni, Yam Yajnamadvaram, that pilgrimage sacrifice, that movement of transformation, Vishvatah, which you from all the sides, Paribhuh, Asi, you are the embracer from all the sides. That sacrifice, that offering, which is embraced from all the sides, Antariksha, so our offering left the earth and went into Antariksha. Said Deveshu Gacchati, that will go to the gods. So what it means that the offering has to be totally, absolutely offered in every way, leaving nothing, no gap for something else, for some enjoyment, for some expectation, for some liking. It has to be absolutely surrendered, absolutely given, perfectly given. The Agni has to take it from all sides, embrace it from everywhere. Yeah.
Just one question. Sorry, it's a little bit of a technical one. This it deveshu. What is that it deveshu?
Yeah. Sa it. It is like Eva, emphatic particle. In the Veda, it's very often used. Yeah. Sa
And
it. Sa
earlier on
Eva.
you had, sorry, and earlier on you had Sadevan Eha Vakshati. Is Eha Iha another
Iha.
form of Eha?
Absolutely. And notice what happened here. A was accented, Iha. Iha is accent on the second. So when they joined, then that unaccented E disappeared with E accented. And then, once we are in Antariksha, that only will go to the gods. And the last one, Agnir Hota. Agni is the summoner of the gods. Kavi Kratuh. He is with the power of Kavi, of the seer, Sri Aurobindo says, of the poet. Satyah, he is true. He was never spoken as true now. He is totally realized. Chitrashravastamah, having the most of the inspired and luminous chitra and shravas. Chitra is with eye connected, luminous, and shravas is the hearing connected with hearing. So chi is noticing and shru is hearing, or seeing and hearing. Here they both come together. Chitrashravastamah, having the most inspired and luminous knowledge. Devach, now he is called Devach. And in the first he was also marked as a Deva. Devach devebich, with gods, Agamat, should come. Now we reached to the sun, to Surya. It is the level of Surya. He is the God where the gods should come, so to say. He is true. He is the possessor of the greatest hearing and seeing, the revelation in the Drishti and Shruti, in the revelation and inspiration. He is Kavikratu, with the power which of the seer and the summoner of the gods. With the gods he should come. Now notice, should come again. Before he should bring here the gods, now he should come here with the gods. Now he has them already, and he should come with them down. And from now on, we will go down. So we rise. We were rising up. You could see in the meaning. You can see in the meaning of the verses. Yeah? It's somehow inbuilt there. There is the whole procedure to reach to heaven. And now from the heaven, there will be response. The coming down. This was the calling, and now there will be the answer, which will descend. 1 second, I will have to answer here, and I will come in a minute. You just think about it.
What is the Yajna Madhvaram which he said? I didn't quite get that. Agneyam Yajna Madhvaram. Any idea of Yajna Madhvaram? What he said? That I missed that. Can't hear you, Anuradha. You're muted.
I don't remember like exactly what he said for that, but it seems to me adhara can either mean a sacrifice, not crooked, uninterrupted, can have all those. So it could be the offering.
Okay. The offering from all sides embraced, he says.
Vishwataha paribhurasi.
Is from all
Yeah.
sides embraced.
Yes.
So the Adhvaram is the offering. The Yajnam is the offering.
Yajna is the offering, and it is a straightforward thing. It says like not crooked, uninterrupted. It has those kind of meanings.
Okay. Vladimir, this Yajnam Adhvaram, what does Adhvaram stand for?
Advaram is pilgrimage. Sri Aurobindo translates it from Adhavan, the path. Advaram is translated by Sayana differently, like Advara, the kind of not hurting. Sri Aurobindo says it's not really probable. It's something very made up by the analytic thinking of the mental structure. You can see this was Asura the same, Advaram the same. They think wherever there is A, there must be something. Aditi the same, because it's from root ad actually, not Aditi. Yeah. Like not dt. It's not a negation particle. So advara is advan, from the word which means path. Path, sacrifice, because sacrifice is a constant path, which is we are always on the way. We cannot stop. This is something interesting we do not think of. But it's not the sacrifice you did and it's done. So now I can enjoy the fruits. No, the sacrifice is ongoing. It's a path. It's a life path. Yes, there are two descriptions: path and battlefield. Battlefield is when you meet the forces which resist, and they always are there. Yes, as we know, the forces are always there to resist the change. And the path, when the moment you break through, like Vira, that breaking through, like the seed breaks through asphalt and the plant breaks through the asphalt and grows. I'm so inspired from this. Sorry, I'm just taking everything away from you by my kind of carried away. And you're looking at this text. Maybe I should open some translated text. Yeah, because the Sanskrit is too much. No, it's okay. So here we came to the sun. Now come to us with the gods. Now there will be a coming down. Yadangada shushe tuvam agne bhadram karishyasi tavetat satyamangirach. Yadanga, anga is another emphatic particle. That indeed, dashushe, dative case from dashuch, the one who gives oneself, surrenders. That indeed to the surrenderer who surrenders himself, tuvam agne, you Agni, bhadram, the best, the blissful, karishyasi, wants to do. That what you want to do for the giver of oneself, for the offerer, for the sacrificer, tava, it, tat, that indeed yours, satyam, truth, or angiras. Angiras has no accent, so you can see o angiras. So o angiras, angiras is the name of Agni. So again, sparkling, we can translate, yeah, with sparks. So you, O sparkling one, it is your truth indeed, that which you want to do for the giver, for the one who offers himself. It is your truth, what you want to do. This is something important, yeah? Not that what I want from you, give me, but what you are here to give. That is your truth. And Mother speaks about this also. When you ask for my blessing, be careful, because my blessing will be according to the Lord's divine, and not to your wish, what you want to get. So you may get something very different. Can you bless our marriage? They come to the Mother and says, it's quite dangerous. If I bless your marriage, it may fall apart immediately. So here the same story, that that truth is yours, what you want to do for the one who offers himself. And this is the biggest thing in the offering and sacrifice, that we want what the divine wants. Yeah, we don't want what we want. We want what the divine wants for us. And it is quite a, you have to step out from your comfort zone, from all that, what you believe is true and what you want. And you have to allow, and that is real surrender. You have to allow this force to take charge. It's not a small thing. We already accumulated so much knowledge. So this is there when the answer, that is your truth, what you want to give now. This is what's giving will be coming down to us. Yes, that what you want to do, to give to the giver. So to do for the giver, that is your truth, O Angiras, indeed. And now we are moving down, and look at how nicely it is coming. Upatvagne dive dive doshava stardhiyava. This was the heavenly range, and now we are coming to the sun from the heaven. So we had earth, now we came to heaven, and from heaven there is a descent. So the sun. Upatvagne, towards you, O Agni, dive dive, again dive dive, as Agnina was there. Day by day, doshava star, you are. So doshava star is the vocative, or you who is the illuminer of darkness. Dosha is darkness, night. Vastar is the one who is illumining. Yeah? It is vocative. O dosha vastar. Yeah, we know that it is vocative because the accent falls on the first syllable at the beginning of pada. Dosha vastar. Dhiya vayam. We by Dhi, by our concentration, Namo Bharanta Emasi, bring to you, bringing the obeisance, or what do you call it, surrender to you, coming to you, Emasi, we come to you, bringing the surrender. Now, notice how situation has changed. We are approaching you, bringing our surrender to you. So we are the receivers, the receptacles of that which is coming to us. You will see it in the meaning, not in the words so much, but in the meaning. So, and you are the dosha vastar, and that is the sun. You are the illuminer of the night. Day by day we come to you, bringing our surrender. And then we come to the antariksha, Vayu level. Rajantam advaranam gopam ritasya didivim vardhamanam suvedame. So beautiful, the Svedame. What in your own home, vardhamanam, growing. To you who is shining, rajantam, or like a kingly shining, yeah, rulingly shining. Advaranam, on all these movements. You remember Yajnamadvaram, Vishvatav Paribhurasiva, he embraces from all the sides this movement of the pilgrim sacrifice. Here, shining at these pilgrim sacrifices, Gopam, the protector of light, Ritasya, of Rita, of the dynamic truth, Didivim, shining one, Vardhamanam, growing in his own home, in one's own home, Suvedame. So now this, in this antariksha, he already got the support of the sun, of the transcendental. The fire which was rising got connection with Indra, as it were, because Agni and Indra have to come together. Agni is the son of Rudra, Shiva, and Indra is the son or the older brother, as it is said, of Vishnu, because Vishnu is above Krishna. And they have to come together. And once they come together in Antariksha, then Vardhamanam Suedame, then he grows in his own home. Then the sacrifice is maintained or fulfilled. Finally, the connection of the transcendental, pure, uninvolved light with involved light got connected in this hemisphere, in this lower hemisphere. And we have the fulfillment. We have the answer. The answer reached its call. There was a call and there was the answer from above. And they finally collided, joined. And that is Vardhamanam Suedame. That's what Sri Aurobindo says. There are only two powers which in themselves can fulfill everything. The aspiration from the heart and the grace that answers. These two powers are fulfilling all, realizing all, and here they are coming together. Sanaf Piteva, and now we are coming to Agni finally, from Antariksha to Agni. Sanaf Piteva Sunave, Gne Supaya no Bhava. Agne Supaya no Bhava has to be changed. That's Avagraha. Sachasvana Suastaye. Look at this beautiful Varnas. Sachasva nach Suastaye. So twice swa, supayano, su nave. There's su everywhere. 4 times su in one Gayatri. It is all, Rishi feels this language. He knows what he wants. He knows because it's the divine revelation, you know. He puts all that sweetness, that su is flowing. So he, to us, like the father to the son, Sunave, Pita Iva Sunave, Agne or Agni, Supaya no Su Upaya. Yeah, be easily available, reachable. Yeah? Bhava, be. You, or Agni, be to us easily reachable as Father to the Son. Sachasva, lead us, or lead is maybe. Yeah? Nach us suastaye, for the perfect existence, or towards perfect
How,
existence.
how does such a how does such a become lead? Like, what is the root of that? Or and then
It's rucha, such. Such from here we have,
and and then there is such a swa. So
yeah, it is sachasva, should be a, short a. Yeah,
the
this is,
dosha, is it a
it's
mistake?
no dosha. By the way, there are many lengthening of as here and there. And e's also, like you have in Taittiriya, Plutus and so on. Yes, also. Why these lengthenings? They are for the sake of meter. Rishi feels that for the sake of meter, he wants to lengthen da. And that is the case in this case. So it doesn't change the meaning. It's such a sva, yeah? Lead. It's Atmanepadam. Lead, or even stick to us, like, you know, such. Stick and lead us, or accompany. That's the accompany us to the well-being. Yeah, it's a very good, valid question. Why long are suddenly from nowhere? But that is for the sake of meter.
Sorry, there was just one more on a little earlier on that dosha vastar dhya vayam. Dosha vastar dhya vayam tatra kaha artha asti upatvagne dive dive. Dosha vastar, how do you
O
explain that?
dosha vastar, by the thought we bringing the surrender come. I translate it literally every word. O dosha vastar, by thee we surrender bringing come. Emasi, again, emasi is a Vedic form. It should be emach. Yeah. A imach. But emach, you'll notice emasi. It's interesting that this masi vasi is found instead of vaha maha endings. You will have vasi masi. Still e is there, which was dropped in classical Sanskrit. And also agamat is also an aorist here without augment, yeah, which plays role of the imperative mode. Certain small things, not big differences between classical and no, you can't find big differences. It's just nearly classical language. 95% is classical language. So here we come to Agni, and Agni already, which returned with a gift, with connection to the transcendental, becomes available to us as the father to the son, because he is our father and we are his sparks, children, our souls, and he should lead us to the well-being, to the perfect existence, to the immortality, actually. Suastaye. What is a simple word? Suasti. Yeah. What can be better, no? I do not know. These are the inspirations for the whole humanity. They are waiting for humanity to tap into them again to get inspired. Okay, now speak. You speak. I will listen. Because I'm speaking non-stop.
I would like to hear the entire thing without any break and stop with meaning, Vladimir,
Okay,
please, because
will do.
just maybe you can just read line by line or just give, like, I want to get the whole thing as one thing in my heart.
All right. I seek the divine flame with adoration, the one put in front of our journey, the luminous Godhead of our transformation, the knower of the process of our change in time, the one who invokes and brings to action all the divine forces and bestowing the greatest riches. He, the flame, should be constantly sought with adoration by the first and modern rishis. He should bring here the gods. Because he should bring here the gods. He brings the powers which transform our being. It is by Agni that the wealth should be realized. And the growth day by day, and the glory full of creative power. O Agni, that offering, that transformation which moves forward, which you embrace from all the sides, that indeed goes to the gods. Agni, the summoner, the seer will, the true, the possessor of the greatest consciousness and inspiration, the revelation and inspiration, the God with gods should come to us. And that indeed what you want to give to the, or do good to the one who offers himself to you, that is indeed your truth, O Angiras. To you, O Agni, day by day, O the illuminer of darkness, we come with bringing the surrender with our thought and concentration. To you who is shining at our pilgrim sacrifices, to you who is protector of the dynamic truth, luminous in this world, growing in his own home. Like the Father to the Son, O Agni, be easily available to us. Lead us to the felicity.
It's really beautiful the way you brought it together.
Yeah, you can feel the dynamism of all of this. There are dynamism within the... That's why the first 5 start with Agni, and next 4, when the descent starts, there is no more Agni, we are receptacles. The Agni first opens, first 5, it's like aspiration towards the sky, and from the sky down, we are receiving of him descending down anyway. So this is what I noticed many years back, in 1986 actually. So quite long ago. And that was for me like a key. I saw like in a nutshell the whole vision of the Rig Veda. Why Agni? What is happening from level to level, connecting to Agni and Indra. Everything depends on this connection of the aspiration of the call and answer. And once the connection is made, there is a new progress to be made. Now we are totally conscious, connected. We are yuktas, we are fulfilled. We are yogins. We did our yoga. We did our yukti. Now we can proceed in a totally new manner, in a conscious yoga, because now he will lead us to the felicity, like Father to the Son, easily available to us. He is lit and he is answered. So
Yeah, it's beautiful how this thing of there is the aspiration, and so it's like the aspiration is completely within. So the Agni is within, And at the same time, the Agni is the connector, the path, and that which brings.
Yes, yes.
The whole
And
thing is the Agni.
absolutely, and it is so confusing for the mind, which is always separating things. And when Sri Aurobindo speaks about Agni, which is there in the sky, the pure Agni which we have to discover, it is also very confusing. Well, Agni is the essence of earth, how it is in the sky. But then, if you read Sayana's explanation of these three Agnis, Agni, Vayu, and Surya, or Aditya, which is the aim of the sacrifice, they have to come together, then you understand that mental, vital, and physical consciousness have to come together. And that is yoga. Yoga is when we are totally composed, when our mind, our feelings, and our actions, will, are one. They are no more different. We are so dispersed. Notice, we think one thing, speak another, and do something else. And constantly, and feel something else altogether. We say yes, yes, so nice, and feel so bad. But we can't, well, not all of us. Rashi most probably says what she thinks. And that's why everybody loves her and fears her also, because she will tell you. As it is. But yes, but you can see this dispersed being, which is not one. So how to make it one? It is all coming to this simple psychology, how to make one of our mind, feelings, and will, body. How to bring these karma, bhakti, and jnana yoga together into one synthesis. But it is in the Vedic language of the sacrifice.
And the Svedame, I am not quite understanding this idea of the Svedame here. What is he referring to as the Svedame?
His own home, it is his home. Now Rishi realizes, he sees, before he didn't see, he said, bring here the gods. And now he sees that actually this universe is his own home. Now the Agni is no more an aspiration. It is the Lord who is possessing all the existence here. He changed his appearance. He became the Pita, the father to the son. We are the children of this Lord who grows in his own home, grows. And this beautiful word, growing in his own home, not just staying, He's still expanding, like the spirit. Yeah, okay, great. So this was the first hymn. You can imagine each hymn has something to say of the same kind, or similar, or some hymns are profound, like this one, the first one. But we can understand why it is the first hymn. If you have some questions or some observations, please, and we stop here. I'm already 25 minutes more.
I just had a thought that I was wondering that when the rishis saw this in his experience, then because we are so used to associating Agni with the literal fire, so did he actually see fire, or I mean, what was the realization in terms of the seeing? Was it the spirit of the fire they saw, that upward movement? Was there an elemental quality of the fire itself? Was it the Agni Devata? So, I'm just trying to connect to that experience when they received the hymn. I'm trying to understand what would they have.
But it gives you a vision, dynamic vision. The problem is here that it is dynamic, yeah? So there is a process of something is going on, one after the other, step by step, rising and coming. This kind of calling and answering, this breathing in and breathing out, is this is ascent and descent, which Sri Aurobindo describes, yeah?
There is the ritual component of it, so we can understand the symbolism that they're performing the yajna and they're doing
Ritualism came much later, by the way, Anuradha. This is something we should understand about Rig Veda. Brahmanism, Brahmanic literature of Brahmanas is of that ritualism. They started to ritualize and assign each mantra to some particular ritual and this and that, and oblations in with this day and that day and that time and this nakshatra and that graha and so on, and moon. Correspondence with this, with the cosmos and ritualistic interpretation is later, of a later origin. This is something more fundamental, more connected to psychology. It's a psychological thing more. And then to fix it in culture, rituals were needed, because not everybody is such a seer who sees what it is. So, and the text had to be preserved. How would you preserve it if it is not ritualized and repeated day by day? And so the ritualism had its place in preserving the text and making it useful, and the symbolism of ritualism, outer ritualism, also took part of in this symbolism, inner symbolism. But it is other way around, so to say. It was from inner to outer. Outer was formed in resemblance to inner, not other way around. So it's not that outwardly there was a kind of ritual and then they thought, okay, maybe this reminds me of something, what is happening within. No, just other way around. Shubindu
Ragini,
speaks about this. Yeah. Yes.
is there a separate book? I mean, there must be. I'm curious to know more about the rishis, because I want to understand this. I want to understand the land in which this has grown. You know what I mean? If there is something to read on various the various lineage of rishis and how, and I don't know, because I know nothing. And you know how I came to this class is because they were coming to me in my, how I was channeling them, and I didn't even know who they were and everything. That's why I landed up connecting with you on the class. So I'm also, because it seems that we all need to know what they have said along with who they were, because many times, like I mean, I feel in the world right now all the knowledge is become a diluted version of WhatsApp messages. So we can still find knowledge and wisdom through the classes or courses or conferences, but what about the kind of being that one needs to be, as in who are the role models? You know what I mean?
Let us do this, since we finished first the hymn and the last hymn. We looked into the last hymn the last time, and the
Yeah.
first hymn. So we have a framework, and now we can look into who are these rishis, really, because we should more thoroughly. I just mentioned the mandalas very generally, but if you look into what, because Sri Aurobindo says each rishi represents a particular victory, psychological victory of humanity, which is still to be won all the time by us. It's a particular specific path. Even when I wanted to publish Rig Veda in the light of Sri Aurobindo, I wanted to do it in the volumes of rishis, like Kutsangirasa volume. Yeah? And everything connected to what he did, or Dirghatama Uchatya, or Gotama Rahuganaha volume, or Agastya Rishi, Maitra.
Maybe you could create another individual class, which many more people can also join, like a master class, which happens over a weekend, like 3 hours each or 2 hours. I don't know, something, so that, I mean, like I said, like when I'm teaching, a lot of people ask me, "But where are our role models? Who are our role models?" But if we give them the highest possible, and then we can bring about, say the APJ Kalam, or in the sports, like, but because they have only conquered one aspect of their being, right? So they're not really role models. They can only be somebody you can aspire to be as a sports person, or as a scientist or a politician. But if our land has given birth to such, and we still have that knowledge, then isn't it important also to bring that being also in light? And that could become a huge inspiration, because the youth is asking for it.
This is a very good point, actually, also for Anuradha's case, how Sanskrit literature can come back, the role models, something which inspires people to be like
And I can
this.
make little plays once you teach all the courses, both of you. then we can make videos. Well, Vladimir and I were supposed to be making videos and put music, and you just have to invoke the rishi just by watching that little thing, and then just feel the presence, because that's how it happened with me. So I know it is possible for people to feel it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it has to be felt. Feeling is the realization in experience. That's why we connect word and meaning to get that experience. That experience is in the feeling. Yeah, it's in life force. I have to live it. If I don't live it, what's the point of knowing it? Yeah, or talking about it. Yeah. So
Sorry, Vladimir, I always bring that point. I shall try not to speak what my heart and mind and soul are saying.
no, I totally agree with you. I believe so. Without this feeling, what's the point? You see, I put also so much feeling into it because I feel this. It is felt. It is not something which I know in the mind, or I'm curious because of some words, or it gives me some kind of privileged position to like God knows who, professor or something. No, not that. There's a real something, substance, stuff, gold in it. You feel the gold within.
Yes,
You
yes.
have to spend some time with these hymns. Each hymn is a vision. It needs to open up its own kind of slowly. It doesn't open so quickly. You need to dwell on it. It requires time. You see how long it took this one small hymn just to dwell on it, to stay with it, to stay. And slowly, oops, here, oh, here, it opens. Each line has a very specific selection. And if you start comparing line by line, why does he say what he says here? No, look, bring here the gods, okay, and then only by Agni you reach the growth of consciousness and glory. And then why does he say then only that which you embrace from all the sides goes to gods? So everywhere there is a certain functionality which, recovering which, it gives you the dynamic understanding. The connection between the dots you must do yourself. Him is not doing it for you. It leaves open. You make it, you make it. And don't, you don't. Next time. It is here for thousands of years, so somebody made it somewhere, those connections between the dots, and got that vision. And it is enough. It changed the consciousness of one person. It's enough. The vibration continues. It lives. Consciousness lives, works. Unconsciously for this person, he even doesn't know that it works through him, but it works. In his reaction, in his look, in his walk, in his sleep, it works. All right. Okay, we stop here. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santo Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. I was also silently making to Krishna, offering today's Krishna's celebration. All the best. See you. See you.
Oh, dhanyavada. Shubham.
Yeah, Shubham. We have to talk afterwards, Anuradha, not today.
No, no.
Yeah.
Anantamyatikam dinam.
Okay.
Shubha